Stamati, I think last week you copped about a $25 fine.
It was $15.
$25.
Hey, I've paid mine, mate.
I've gone back through the footage.
So
$25.
Oh, look.
I'm not going to lie. I was on par.
Oh, okay.
All right. We both copped $25 fine.
Right.
For swearing. Now, are we going to continue not swearing tonight, or are we just?
You know what? I think this could be a good theme through our podcast. So, let's try and keep it clean.
Okay.
You know what?
We don't have to be clean, but like let's not use the bad language.
The bad words.
I'm not fussed about the dirty language. I'm just it's the bad language.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Let's make a pact here, right? So, okay, I owe another $10 to just for everyone out there, right? I donated $15 to the Black Dog Institute. How much? I
did get the proof that he has done that. So I have not yet made my donation, which means if you give me your 10, I'll add it to my 25.
So 35.
So that's $50 all up from Two Blokes in the Pod.
Okay, so I'm happy to. Okay, let's say for until the end of September, whatever swearing we've got.
All right, no swear September.
No swear September. We'll start it from today, right?
But started from last week.
Okay, started from last week.
And we'll go to the end of September.
End of September, and whatever swearing.
But can I define one thing?
No, here we go.
I'm going to say it, but I'm not getting penalised for this word.
Okay, no, this is...
All right, open discussion now.
Exemptions.
Is shit really a bad word?
I mean, look...
Because if we agree that shit isn't a bad word, I will still pay my $25 because we had a third judge here.
Is shit a swear?
Yeah, but you're asking Google now.
Oh, well, do you want to be specific? Shit is slang. Okay, shit is a slang word for feces. Shit is a swear word, an offensive, rude, or impolite word.
Okay, all right. That's good enough for me. So we'll go with shit is a swear word too.
Shit, the F word. I mean, look,
we hardly say the C word, but that's definitely
that should be like $10.
All right. Every time someone drops a C bomb,
the C bomb,
$10.
Yeah.
But fuck or shit.
Fuck or shit is $5.
God, people are going to listen to our podcast going, what the hell are these guys talking about? Anyway, all right. No swearing.
No swearing September, part of August.
And we will be listing down every one that we do say.
Okay.
All right, $25 a piece so far.
$25 a piece.
All right, and you already sent $15 to Black Dog Institute?
Black Dog Institute, yes.
All right, fantastic.
We'll put it up on the screen now. You know how anyway, whatever.
We'll rule the out of that. Okay, excellent. I've got to tell you, you got me a coffee on your way in tonight, and you got me. Yeah. Oh, look, I really do appreciate, because I was actually thinking, I'm going to message him to get me a coffee on the way through.
Look at that.
But you bought me one without me even asking, and it's full cream milk.
Sorry about that.
And
sorry, Stav.
I've had about half of it because I really needed a coffee.
Yeah.
Not feeling too good in the old stomach, but that's okay. We'll get through it. We will get through it. So if I suddenly stop halfway through the podcast recording,
I'm going to pick up the slack here.
Yeah, you got to pick it up, and I'll be back when I can.
Nice.
Hey, a few things I want to discuss tonight. We'll get into the main topic shortly, but obviously a lot of things happened over the last week in terms of sports.
Yes.
I know you're a very happy man, but we'll discuss that. Obviously, EPL is back, baby.
There it
is. We've got something to talk about. F1 is back this weekend.
Has it felt like a lifetime ago?
It did. I reckon it was 4.5 weeks ago that, we last talked about. I mean, no, we talked about it last week, but as in an actual race.
It's all rumours we're talking about at the moment, but we actually got our the racing back.
Yeah.
Which is good.
The race is back this week. Let's see how we go. Yeah.
So what'd you get up to on the weekend?
Oh, on the weekend. So Friday night, training was called off.
Yes.
Which is a bummer. I was really looking forward to it, to put a few different strategies and plans in place with my team. But training was called off and I didn't have enough time to book an indoor court. So I ended up taking my kids and wife to Bella Vita's on Port Road in Allenby Gardens for some dinner.
What sort of cuisine is that?
It's an Italian. It's a pizzeria, but they do meals as well.
Yeah.
So I went there and they make the best, and I mean the best, chicken Caesar salad.
I love the old chicken Caesar salad. It's a good go-to.
I mean, at the moment I'm not eating carbs, so that's what I went to, and it was bloody amazing.
So the full cream milk doesn't do you any good, does it?
Look, the milk, I'm allowed to have milk. I can have milk. I can have dairy. But it's just full cream milk doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, fair call.
It just, like, I can have ice cream, I can have cream, I can eat any type of cheese, there's no issue at all.
So what are you doing? Are you doing like a sort of like a keto?
Yeah, I'm doing a modified keto diet.
Okay, so but with ice cream,
I don't need ice cream. I don't need ice cream. No. But I'm just saying, like, in general, when I'm talking lactose and dairy, I can eat ice cream. I can eat creams. I can eat cheeses. I can eat anything that really is made from milk.
Yes.
But if I have a coffee that is majority milk and it's whole
stuffed.
milk, it goes right through me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I drink my coffee. If I feel like a milky coffee, I'll have almond milk.
Noted.
Otherwise, I'll have a black coffee.
Noted.
Talking about coffee, oh, I'm already getting the burps. Talking about coffee, do you know the Boss coffee? The Japanese coffee in cans?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yep.
So my go-to, because they're like cheap as at Woolworths at the moment, is the black espresso coffee in a can.
Okay.
It's literally nothing but black coffee in a can.
Cold.
But because it's brewed cold, oh my God, it is amazing.
Yeah, good.
Oh,
good.
Fucking, well,
there's $10.
No, that's $5.
Oh, $5.
That's
sorry.
$5. It is, that is brilliant stuff. I'm telling you, it's the bomb. It is the bomb. Oh, love it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well, completely stuffed that one up, didn't I?
Doesn't take long, does it?
Where were we going?
How it was really good, the coffee.
Oh, yeah. So Friday night, I took the kids out for dinner with the wife and then went home. I chilled out. When they went to bed, we chilled out and watched the movie.
Yep.
Saturday during the day, not much. But Saturday night, I was DJing at a wedding at a place called Imperial Measures, which is a distillery, a gin distillery in West Heberton.
Yes, I know that place. Yep.
Amazing place.
Really good.
The gin was, wow, outrageous. I had a honey gin with tonic.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
And then Sunday morning, my boys played Western Strikers, who bet us 5-2 earlier in the season.
Yep.
And we had a cracker of a game and drew 3-3.
Very good.
It was a tit-for-tat game, just so good, such a great challenge. And my team had such a massive improvement. Very good game. And then Sunday...
Arvo.
What did we do Sunday? Oh, I went to my in-laws
at
Virginia. How about yourself?
Thursday night I went and saw Deadpool Wolverine.
Oh, great!
Have you seen it?
Great film, yeah.
Oh, it's a cracker. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. It's hilarious, and I like all the one-liners, the puns at like the studio,
the cameos,
all the
cameos.
Yeah.
So, do you know the reason why there were so many cameos?
Why?
All those cameo characters. So we're talking like Wesley Snipes, Jennifer Garner. Chris Evans,
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Are we doing a spoiler? Spoiler alert! Just putting it out there. Yeah, go on.
Sorry. I'm sure people, whoever's wanted to see it by now, would have seen it.
Yeah.
So all those characters were actually from original Fox Studio Marvel films. So Fox Studio owned the rights to the X-Men and all mutant-related films, right? Channing Tatum, Gambit was a mutant. Jennifer Garner was Elektra.
What's his name?
Wesley Snipes was Blade.
Yep.
So, and Johnny, the Human Torch, Johnny, who Chris Evans played.
See, I completely forgot he played the Human Torch
years ago.
Like when
in one of
Jessica
the very
Alba.
Yes, in the Fantastic
Four.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so I completely forgot, right? And I'm like, oh, Captain America. And then he just lit himself up, and I was just like, what?
Yeah,
and then I remembered, I was like, oh.
Like, I love the part in the film where he's about to go,
Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
But he's like, light on and flame on. Oh, so good. Such a great film.
Yeah.
But it was, and Henry Cavill as a Wolverine.
Yeah.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. And did you know that Ryan Reynolds' family all starred in that film?
So, yes. Well, no, at the time I didn't know. But yeah, his kids and his missus.
Yeah, so Lady Deadpool.
Yeah.
Was his wife.
Yeah.
Then the toddler was his daughter, and the baby was his son. Yeah.
Which was, I was like,
great film. I just loved it.
So yeah, went and saw that Thursday night. Friday night, training was cancelled. So I went to Michaela's house, and because we're going to Sydney in November. And Katrina's birthday happens to, we booked it and then realised, oh shit,
$5.
$5.
That's $5 a piece tonight.
We're like, oh, okay. So Katrina's birthday is on while we're away. So both, Michaela, Eleni, myself, we're all going to Sydney over in November. So we went to Michaela's house to sort of book accommodation and stuff like that because we already had our flights all booked months ago. So we booked our accommodation, did that, just had some dinner. Saturday night, went to the footy. So that was pretty good. Port got the win, up the pair. Then went to later that night, Arsenal were on. We got the win there. And then Sunday we had our game, got the win there against Fulham. Later that day we had it was Katrina's year's 80th, so we went to a restaurant, like it was a bit of a brunch, and then came home, chilled out. So it was a little bit of an eventful, but not too strenuous weekend. Which was good. So didn't end up working Saturday, which was good. I was supposed to do an outside little office there, but it started raining, so we're like, pulled the pin on that. So I just literally chilled out. It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Can't really complain.
Excellent. This week I'm going to do this.
This is Two Blokes in a Pod.
Hey, what is that?
The podcast where, it's a bit of this, a bit of that.
I don't understand.
Just blokey laughs and blokey chats.
Okay.
Whatever it is, let's get started.
All right.
Hope you can see I've just set up a little.
What are you doing? A spreadsheet?
Yeah, just on the
what? On
cursing.
Okay.
So
$5 a piece so far.
$5 a piece.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So Stamati,
Hello.
When we first started this podcast, one of the most core reasons behind the podcast was obviously to talk about a taboo topic.
Yes.
That not many men talk about, and we feel is not talked about too much in society. So, you know, that obviously is men's mental health.
Yes.
Okay. There are many factors why men's mental health issues may go unrecognized for a long time. And I mean, you know, I guess some of these reasons could be the social norms and the expectations on and pressure men, you know, the typical pressure that men need to be strong, stoic, independent, the upbringing and the role models that teach men to cope with problems by themselves or use unhealthy coping behaviors such as drugs, alcohol, you know, all that type of stuff just to get by. Obviously, there's a massive feeling of being ashamed or embarrassed, and they just don't have that capacity to seek out help for mental health issues. I guess the lack of awareness about signs and symptoms of mental health and mental health issues in men, So it's a massive, massive problem.
So, you know, like you said, you know, obviously like social media plays a big part. There was I remember there was a, how do I explain this? So, say like Instagram, okay? You know, everyone's got a perfect life. You know, you right? Yeah, perfect life. Everyone just shows the bright side of life, all that sort of stuff. But there was a photo, and it was a picture. I don't know if you saw this. This was years ago. It was a picture of an apple, and it looked nice and green, and you know, on one side. But then if you took the camera around the other side, it was all rotten. So obviously, when you're saying that, you know, it's all, you know, social media plays a big part in sort of covering up mental health.
Yep.
You know, you look at it from different angles. Obviously, you see the perfect apple, but behind the scenes, someone's suffering. I think that was representation of the rotten apple. So, you know, yes, look, social media is a good way for people to connect, but it also obviously hides a lot of suffering.
Absolutely.
You know?
And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. And I'm going to take an example now. Okay, not men, but social media related.
Yep.
Ray Gun.
Right.
Okay, the breakdancer. The amount of crap that she has copped online, and then she's come out saying, "Oh, you know, stop it, please stop it. It's not good," and all that. I mean, look, tit for tat, really, because you know you did the chair thing again.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Is that like the third time tonight?
Yep.
I'm gonna do a week by week collection on every time I get you on video cracking your chair.
Oh, geez, okay.
But, you know, like going back to her, she's come out saying, please stop, it's affecting me, right? Do you know how many people have shut themselves down from social media because of the backlash or the stuff that they've copped online? I mean, you look at when we did that reel once about Taylor Swift, the amount of crap
you copped.
I was copping. Now, I was okay because it's like, well, you know, whatever. You're just jealous that I've got this reel up and I'm talking my crap. But, you know, talking about men's mental health, you hear the common phrases like chin up, pull your socks up, harden up, you know, and we've been taught that many head issues are nothing to worry about and that, you know, just should be dismissed. I know growing up that the words mental health or depression or anything along those lines.
Are you saying like back in the day?
Yeah, back in the day, if they were very rare to be mentioned, especially growing up in a Greek family, No one understood the term, or my parents never understood the term depression.
Yeah. It was more like sort of viewed as you just being soft and just harden up.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Pretty much. Even in Australian culture and sporting culture, like, you know, you're
get
not
over it, mate.
Yeah,
She'll be right.
She'll be right. Get over it. Like, you know. But then you look at the rate of suicide. Obviously, it's a tenfold now to compare to what it was back then. But suicide was a real thing. And people didn't take it seriously, which they are taking it now. But is it too late to solve the problem?
It's sort of like trying to fix a dam that's already sort of broken, isn't it? Like you're just trying to patch it up, but all this, you know, thousands of megaliters of waters is already coming through it, and you're trying to stop it. It's just sort of trying to stop the snowballing effect. So, look, you know, it can be fixed with time and patience and stuff like that, but it is much more difficult now because of, obviously, you know, back in the day where mental health was sort of viewed as a, not as a condition, but more as a, you should be right, mate. You know, just get over it.
You know, I think the culture of dismissal is a very dangerous approach, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you come to me and you say, oh, you know, look, I've been having a bit of a hard time at the moment. I've been losing sleep over some certain events that are happening in my life, or work stress, or whatever. You know, I would be a fool to dismiss that and say to you, Stamati, harden the F up, mate. Like, you're better than that. You're a bloke. You got shit in order. And there you go. There's another one. It's a bit hard when you talk about this topic not to drop the S-bomb, hey?
Yeah, nah. And look, you know, just
all right,
before,
well, put it me down. That's $10 for me. But
just before we went on air, I was just telling you about, you know, the workload at the moment that I've got, and yeah, it is sort of keeping me up at night. And you know, a lot of people would sort of turn around and say, "Oh, well, man, don't complain. You got a lot of work." And I was like, "Yeah, I got a lot of work, but when, you know, so you got, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 jobs on the go at the same time, and it's like, well, they all need that. They've all got the same sort of deadline. It's like, man, you know, you don't really want to piss anyone off."
Is that a swear word? No, all right, we won't go there.
I'm happy to put it down if you like, but yeah,
no, all good.
No, yeah. So you don't want to upset anyone. I'm a very I'm a very big a yes man, but lately,
but
I've been trying to sort of pull back on, you know, because look, at the start of opening my own business, it was like I said yes to everyone just to get my, you know, foot in the door.
Exactly. But you had to do that. You had to do that.
Yeah.
I had to do that in the time that I started my business.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. All right.
I'll just make it work.
I'll do it for a couple $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or okay, I'll not go to this party and DJ for yours just to get that work.
Yeah.
You did the same.
Yeah.
You know, mate, I mean, you know, we talk about Andrew Kiriakou, for example, you know, very good example of, you know, he'd take on any type of property just to get his name out there. That's the way that you start a business, taking any business on. God, I bet Benny would take anyone's shoes to clean just to get his business name out there. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we start. But then you get to that point
where you sort of pick and choose,
where you have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
I'm the same as you. I'm a yes person. I put people before me. I put others and that type of stuff before me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There should be a way where you, as a painter, can say, sorry, I can't do this job. Go give it to someone else. The fear of that for you would be,
how much
if I
work?
give this work away now, how much future work am I possibly going to miss out?
Yeah, because it's
or they've come to me for a quote because they trust my work. Yeah. I'm going to give it to another painter. Are they going to do a good enough job?
Yeah. So there was a job like recently where it was a return client from 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, he called me up and he said, "Hey mate, do you remember that job that you did for me on the outside of this office? I was like, yeah, I remember the one. He goes, look, I've got the tenants moving out. Can you give us a quote for the interior? And I said, look, I go, when do you need it done? And he said, look, can you start it within a few weeks? I said, look, man, unfortunately, we're sort of pretty much booked out really until the end of the year. And he goes, oh, okay. I go, look, I can give you a number. My best mate, he's on his own now, and like, I wouldn't say that he's, fresh. He's starting because he's actually been painting 1 year longer than I have. But in regards to his own business, like it's been, scattered, but now he's really starting to pick up the steam. And so I said, I'll go, look, give him a buzz. You won't be disappointed, So he goes, oh, look, I'll give him a go. I'll go, but he goes, but I've got other work that I have for you to quote in the near future as well. He goes, but I'll still use you. I said, yeah, look, if you use me, use Daniel, it's fine, So instead of me trying to take the job and then just pay him, I said, look, mate, take the job. The whole thing's yours, So, and, I'm always willing to help people, and Daniel's always willing to help me
you
too.
You gotta do it, man. When you have a network like that, you got to utilize that network.
Yeah.
There's same with the DJing, man. Yeah. I can't do every single gig, so that's why I've got guys that I palm work off to, and then when they get booked, and they can palm work off to me. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's the way it is.
Yeah.
By the way, I can tell that you're stressed.
Why is that?
Because you're not wearing your trademark hat.
Oh yeah,
and your hair is an absolute mess.
when we started recording, what the first thing I said, oh my god,
have you gone? And it looks like you haven't gone for a haircut for at least 3 weeks.
Nah, so that's what my dad said the other day. Nah, so what I'm doing, I'm growing out my hair because my hairline's receding, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So what I'm doing is I'm growing it out just to cover it up.
Wow.
Yeah. Optical illusion.
All right. So let's go back to the men's mental health and what are some common mental health issues that you think affect men on a daily basis?
Well, look, you've got obviously stress, whether that would be relationship stress, whether that would be workplace stress, or just stress in general. A lot of people just stress for the sake of stressing.
What would you say today is one of the biggest stresses in current day-to-day society? What would you say is the biggest stress on a man right now?
Probably, I would say finances.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Cost of living through the roof.
Yeah.
Everything has completely gone skyrocketed.
Yeah.
The cost of bread, the cost of milk, the cost of petrol, the cost of energy.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything has gone up, right? Our wages haven't gone up.
No.
They stay the same. Now, obviously, someone like you, you're in that world where you can add that cost of living onto your quoting. But then again...
if you do that, then it's like, so the only... okay, so some of the builders I've said, I go, look, I've got to raise it up by 4% because we have had a 3.5% in the first half of the year on material. So then, so you have, it was average, so it's in between 3 and 3.8%. So
I was talking to another painter not long ago, and he's like, he comes up to me and he goes, this can of paint.
Yeah, I say this all the time.
Right? It used to cost me $70 to $80. Do you know how much this can of paint costs me today?
Believe it.
I'm like, I don't know, $90. And he goes, 90? This cost me $130.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? How did it go up from $80 to another 50 in just... He goes, that's the way it is.
So there was a big jump, I think it was either last year or the year, when it was the war in Russia and Ukraine first kicked off. So there was a big jump. So normally, just for sort of context, I guess, but normally say, and I just use Dulux. So Dulux would go up, say, in between 3 and 4% every year on average. There was 1 year it went up, almost triple that in 1 year. They had multiple rate rises. Rate rises, multiple rises in material costs, and they blamed it on the war in Russia. And then I remember my rep at the time, this lady, I said to her, I go, just out of curiosity, so I just pulled her up on it because I just had enough. Everyone using that as an excuse, like fuel prices, this, that, all that sort of stuff. And I pulled her up and I said, just wanted to know, why is it? And she goes, oh, it's material, and the collective material to produce the product has gone up because of the war in Russia. I said, oh, okay. I go, what's the main ingredient in paint? She goes, oh, I've got no idea. I said, titanium dioxide. I go, do you know where that's mined? She said, no idea. I said, in Western Australia. So what's the price of paint got to do with the war in Russia? I go, can you just answer me that question? She was like, I've got no idea what you're talking. I don't know how to answer. I said, don't use that. Please don't use. I understand oil. I get it, but don't use paint in Australia. That's So
what a pathetic excuse.
Yeah. So look, again, going back. I know we're getting a bit off track here, but your finances, your sort of your work-life balance. I know I'm guilty of that at the moment. Work sort of not taken over my life, but work and just normal life balance is not 50-50 at the moment. It's more like 90-10. So work-life balance at the moment. And, Katrina said to me not long ago, she goes, whenever you work at nights, you're always a little bit more agitated. And I said, well, yeah, because I'm angry that I have to work, during the day. Then after that, at 4 o'clock, go do some night work, and then come home at like 9, 10 o'clock at night from a 7 o'clock start. I go, of course I'm going to be a little bit wired. So trying to manage that, not anger, but manage that frustration, I would say, is another form of stress.
And it doesn't help that you are a father and you have responsibilities at home. So it's like you get wired because you're away from your family on so many nights. Yeah. And when do you get to see your kids?
Yeah, that's right. So
like my kids are in bed by 8 and 8:30. On a good night. Now I'm not away every night like you are. I mean, you have to be because that's your job. Like you have to finish your projects. But I get you're wired. Like it's just the stress of it.
So that's.
But going back to the so I think the financial woes is what's the most important thing to mention under stress.
Yeah.
Because, you got, what if I can't provide for my family? I work with a guy who he's two pay levels lower than me. At the same office that I work at, but he does one role, which is 2 pay levels lower than I am. Yeah. And he's got a family of 2 kids, a wife currently on maternity leave, and her Centrelink pay has just finished, right? So she's still got a few more months of maternity before going back to full-time work or part-time work. Yeah. And he's sitting there struggling, or not struggling, but he's telling me of his struggles, and I mean, my pay is not the best, but to be 2 lower levels below that, and I'm like, far out. I'm really feeling that.
See, I remember, this is another story, I guess. So obviously I've told you guys about our daughter's situation. So with Theodore, I don't know if I probably have told the story, but with Theodore, halfway through we almost lost him as well. Right. So
I remember that.
So so Katrina, I remember it was late one night, it was about 1 a.m. She comes to me and she goes, I think something's wrong. I said, nah, you'll be all right. Just you're obviously anxious and all that sort of stuff. Obviously what's happened. And she goes, no, there's something wrong. Anyway, we went, no, so I said, oh, look, do you want me to take you to the hospital, or do you want to get your mum to take you to the hospital and I'll stay with Dimitri because he's asleep? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. And she goes, oh, I'll get, so her mum took her to the hospital, and her mum called me. She goes, look, I think you should come here. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, well, she's starting to dilate. And this was at 19 or 20 weeks. Right? I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, okay, so she came to my house. No, my father-in-law, this is what, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So my father-in-law came to my house to stay with Dimitri, and I went to the hospital. My mother-in-law left. I don't know if she came to my house or she went, like, whatever. And, the doctor's like, oh, yeah, she's 2 centimetres dilated, 3 centimetres dilated. I was like, how is this possible? So what happens is there's like in the, I don't know, whatever it's called, the uterus or whatever, there's a mucus plug, and that sort of stops any infection from going in and from the baby from coming out. That's come out. I was like, oh, fantastic. So she goes, I go, what do we do? And she goes, well, look, she's obviously had an infection. I think she had like an ear infection or a cough or something. She goes, and what that does, it with this mucus plug, it obviously stops infection. So what's happened is your body has thinks that it's had an infection. So what it does, it gets rid of the mucus plug to stop the infection. I said, okay. So she goes, what we have, oh, that's right, the cervix, sorry, the uterus. She goes, so what we have to do, we have to stitch up her cervix. I was like, okay. She goes, but we can't do that until the infection's gone, right? And I was like, okay. And she goes, well, I said, well, how long is that going to take? She goes, well, we don't know. She goes, but obviously then the longer we leave it, the more she's going to dilate. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm trying to sort of keep calm. Katrina's freaking out. I'm trying to keep calm. And, so they took bloods. They said, okay, it's the infection's dropping, so we can do the surgery, but we don't know if we can do the surgery until we're in theatre. I was like, oh, wowee.
Jeez,
like,
talk about keeping your life on edge, eh?
Right? So we're thinking, oh, great, and not again. Something like this is going to happen to us again, and whatever. Anyway, so we go in theatre, and she's like, yep, there's enough sort of meat on the cervix where we can stitch up. She goes, picture it like a polo, the skivvies, the polo neck skivvies. She goes, picture that, your cervix. So if there's not enough, collar, if there's not enough here, then we can't stitch. She goes, so if it's a short cervix, there's nothing to stitch. There's nothing we can do. I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, there was enough. There. They did this surgery. So then after the surgery, they're like, so she can't work anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? I didn't budget for that. She goes, no, she can't work anymore. She has to be pretty much bed rest now. She can't sweep. She can't vacuum until now the baby's born. I'm like, well, I didn't, and this is like not early on, but it's sort of like a year into me on my own, a year and a half. And I'm like,
and this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like smack bang in the COVID pandemic.
Yeah. Right. So I was like, oh, okay. So we weren't making any money. Like she wasn't making any money when that was happening. So she started getting her maternity leave once Theodore was born. Right. So luckily we had some, because I was putting a bit of money away every week, like, $50, $100, whatever, into this account. So then she could take 12 months off. But that was from when Theodore was supposed to be born. So I didn't budget for the 19 or 20 weeks
Prior.
So when you say like financial stresses, that was probably like the peak I've ever experienced, because think about it. Picture Stav not working for 6 months, not getting paid. You know what I mean? So I was working overtime every week just to, you know.
And how hard would that have been on Katrina most of the time alone at home with Dimitri?
Yeah. Well, I think she stayed in hospital for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
You know, so, you know, my in-laws like.
So you would have been working your ass off.
Yeah.
To make it through. And then
he couldn't go to see her.
Wow.
Because it was the whole COVID thing.
Oh.
Right? So, so that was another thing. So she was just talking to Dimitri through FaceTime, Messenger and whatever. So it was
goodness.
Yeah, so that was pretty stressful. And then they're like, well, we don't know how long this stitch is going to stay. You know, it could stay 2 weeks or the whole pregnancy. Luckily, it stayed the whole pregnancy. You know, so
then when she was ready to give birth, did it naturally fall out, or
no? They cut it.
Oh, they cut it open.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Man, the human body is just one mystery, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Like how scary that a pregnant woman can get an infection in some other part of her body that's not related to her uterus at all. And that happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she had COVID
twice during pregnancy. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. So, you know.
Do you know I've had Novid?
No COVID?
Yeah, no COVID. I've not yet had COVID. I discussed this at work today because my new team leader said, she's had COVID 5 times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? 5 times?
Yep.
I said, well, I've never had COVID. And then another person's like, oh, you've had Novid. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Novid, yeah. You know what? I probably have had it and I don't know. But that's how much I really care about COVID.
So, yeah. That sort of financial stress. That's like you said. That's the big killer. That one. So
well, I look at today's with my clientele through work and the high prices of groceries, energy bills, telephone bills, petrol, everything. And these guys don't pay much rent. They're paying 25% of whatever their income is. That's crazy. Government subsidied rent. But they're still struggling to pay rent because everything else is expensive too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, if men are aware of their stress levels, they can start to take steps to manage this in a very healthy way. And obviously, one of the biggest things that I think helps a lot with stress is exercise. I think exercise is a great thing to do. One thing I do is meditation. I meditate a lot. Yeah, I do.
See, I've never
Now, when I say meditate,
it's not like you're sitting there.
I don't sit there, cross-legged and my fingertips crossed and all that.
So it's just the breathing, managing the breathing.
So there's some really good apps. Like, have you heard of an app called Calm?
Yes.
Yeah, so I use that.
Okay.
Calm is fantastic. It's a step through breathing app. It tells you, take a deep breath here, breathe in through your nose, exhale through your mouth, stuff like that. And what I often do is sometimes at night I struggle to fall asleep, so I put my headphones on that cancels all the noise outside, right? So I've got those.
Doesn't that warm up your ears?
No, not really.
When you're sitting, you're lying down, going to sleep, doesn't it?
No, see, I will only sleep on my back when I've got my headphones on.
Okay, fair enough.
And then I fall asleep, and halfway through the night, I'll wake up with them still on, and I'll take them off. Yeah. But what I do is I put one of those tracks on the app. So sometimes I feel like listening to someone talk me through a breathing thing.
Yeah.
But other times I just play background noise like waterfalls or white noise or that just just to get that
ringing.
that ambiance in my big shout out to Mrs. Dodd on that word, ambiance. But I use that. So that's my way of meditating. Deep breathing is a great way to release stress.
So what?
Walking, like I go for at work, if I'm very stressed at work, I'll chuck in my AirPods.
Yeah.
I'll put a bit of music on and I will go for a walk around the block. Breathe in the air.
There's another thing, like I've been doing at nights when I get home, because it's a bit hard to unwind because, you work and you come home, you do a bit of book work, all that sort of stuff. I've found, have you ever used or tried like brain games?
Yeah.
Or, sort of brain games, bit of crosswords, stuff like that. I think just even like doing a bit of that just gets me to unwind a little bit as well, for maybe like half an hour or something.
Yeah. See, I've got, I know this is going to sound really silly, but I have an app on my phone. Oh, excuse me. I have an app on my phone, which is, where is it? It's called Mario Run. So it's an actual Super Mario game.
Okay.
But it's basically one of those it's like a 10-level quick game. So no strategy behind it. It's just you got to collect all the coins you can in the 10 levels. And that really chills my mind out. Yeah. Like I just play that just to, reset my brain. One other very big thing that I love to do, obviously being that social person, there are the times where I just want to be alone, but then there are the times where I just want to spend time with friends, family, friends, the people that make a difference in my life. Yeah. Sometimes I remember one time just earlier this year, I was a bit stressed out. Yeah. There was a lot going on in my life, and you just happened to call me, and you heard that stress in my voice, and you said, "You know what I think you need? I think you need to come to the football with me tonight." And
oh, that's right. I remember that now. Yeah,
I came to the football with my son James, and we had a crack of a night. It was a great evening.
I mean, you got saturated by the someone spilling their water upstairs.
Yeah, it wasn't raining. Someone was just kept dripping their bloody drink on me. But yeah, so family and friends, and obviously the biggest way to release stress is, if you want to go down that, if it's a psychological stress, go down that path of seeking professional help. Yeah. And there's heaps and heaps. But other forms of mental health, loneliness.
Yeah. Again,
and that's the complete opposite of what I've just said. That I love to be around people. I've got a partner. I've got a family. But there are those people that don't have that, and there are people that seek that but can't have it. Are not lucky enough to have it.
So, like, it's for some of us that, you were just saying that some people don't have that, for, like, I don't know, I could speak for myself and probably you as well. Like, there's plenty of people around us. And sometimes we could, take that for granted. Want to be on our own and don't really want people around. Like, I'm not saying all the time, but there are some times where you just want your, just silence and whatever. But then there are other people out there that don't have anyone and they crave people around all the time. So I know I keep going back to it, but when we lost our daughter, we
hid away from the world.
But a lot. There was heaps of people at our house all the time, and then it's like, sometimes you're like, oh, we wish I could just have a break of people coming over and all that sort of stuff. But when the people leave, that's when everything becomes real.
You feel it. You feel it.
Yeah.
See, I think that's also a thing that happens a lot in Greek families when someone does die. I remember when my father died, my mum's house was swarmed with people for like a whole week.
Yeah.
And my mum needed that. But I was the one actually getting anxiety for her, going, she needs rest. And I was telling people to go away. Yeah. But she was inviting him back in because she needed that. And I didn't understand at the time. I'm like, Mum, you need rest. But yeah, did you know? Here's a bit of a stat that since COVID-19 pandemic, 1 in 2 Australian men have felt more lonelier. They felt more lonely. They felt more isolated.
Yeah.
And that there has been an increased reporting in mental health since 2021.
Well, you think about it, like when the whole pandemic thing was going on, I know it was a while ago, but everyone was isolated. Everyone was, they couldn't have people around, especially in Victoria. You were alone. You had no choice.
Yeah.
And then I think because it went on for so long, it just became normal, and then people must have felt weird having people around, so they just didn't. And then
So, what do you think? What do you think is the difference between loneliness and social isolation?
I think social isolation would be, let's say, all your mates are getting together and they don't tell you, right? And then you see it maybe then on social media or whatever, or you find out later that they all went out and you weren't invited. Let's say there's a group of 10 of you that regularly catch up. They didn't tell you for some whatever reason.
That's just your mates being pricks.
All that, yeah. I don't know. Is that right?
Yeah.
Social
isolation refers to a lack of social contact with people. This can be due to physical barriers, geographic distances, personal choices, external circumstances. An example: someone who lives alone and has limited access to transportation may experience social isolation.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not something that they want to experience, but they just can't be there. Sometimes it's worth noting that, they may choose to be socially isolated, and not all individuals who are socially isolated feel lonely. So it goes back to sometimes, I want to be alone. I want to stay home with my family and not do stuff. That's socially isolating myself by choice.
Yeah.
So, there's a difference between by choice or by reason.
Have you heard that song by Pink? Like, Leave Me Alone, I'm Lonely. Like, years ago, she made the song. It's like, leave me alone, I'm lonely tonight. So she's saying, like, leave me alone, but then I'm lonely.
Yeah.
So it's sort of
It's
like
a conflicting
that,
song.
Yeah. So it's sort of like the same.
So loneliness is chiefly a feeling of sadness and being alone that can also happen when you're surrounded by people. So, the lack of connection to the world around you. You may feel like you have no meaningful relationships, or like you don't belong and no one understands. So, that's like now, for an example, me, Stav, you, Katrina, and a single female friend of ours. We all go out together.
Fifth wheeling.
Yeah, yeah, you know what? Like a third wheel, fifth wheel. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I guess they're feeling lonely in that relationship space.
Yeah.
Right? And that can play a lot on their mind. Whereas, we have our partners, we're there, so that's sort of that type of stuff.
Yeah. Some people, like you said, some people choose to be, socially isolated, and maybe they get a bit anxious in large crowds. They don't know how to converse and communicate with people. So that, like you said, that it's not like they don't want for people to be around, but they just don't know how to converse. That could be another sort of, I guess, aspect of it. I know a couple people that choose to be, on their own, watch TV at their house by themselves, and they don't feel comfortable coming out. But once you get them out, they're all right. But, getting them...
Well, I work with this guy who keeps complaining, he's like, I don't have anyone, I've been through it before and all this and that. I don't have anyone right now. Oh, I'm happy that I don't have anyone. I'm happy I'm single. I don't have any responsibilities, rah, rah, rah. And then when it comes to like, oh, but, I'd really love to take her out on a date, or I'd like to have a beer with her or whatever. I'm like, well, why don't you man up and go ask her? Nah, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. They have to ask me out. I'm like, yeah. Women don't often ask blokes out.
Blokes ask.
I mean, great if it happens, but I don't see that.
No.
All right. So another sign of mental health, depression.
Yeah.
Major factor of the,
That's probably the biggest.
The biggest one.
That and anxiety, I would say.
Persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness. It all interconnects, doesn't it? Loss of interest in activities. Again, you might prefer to be lonely and socially isolated, but that could be part of depression.
I mean, look, older blokes, they could just be like, yeah, I'm sort of done with life. I'm sort of done with trying to meet new people and all that sort of stuff. So that could be like, so you're 40 or 50 plus, that they've been stuffed around their whole life, and then trying to sort of, I don't know, rekindle something with someone, and they think, oh, it's not worth it. I'm too old now, and they'll just live depressed for the rest of their lives.
Correct. And flowing on from that, something that very closely connects to depression, anxiety.
Yeah.
Something that I've suffered from. You suffer from it.
Yeah.
Anxiety doesn't mean that I'm depressed, but I'm very
just anxious.
I get anxious, and I have had panic attacks in the past due to anxiety. Thankfully, I never went down the path of medications to calm myself, but I have seen and spoken to people to help me through this. Yep. But one very important thing is that if you are feeling lonely, if you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling anxious, if you feel like your life is going down a spiral or a black hole and you just don't know how to pull yourself up, if you don't have anyone to talk to, there are multiple avenues to get yourself some help. First and foremost, what I would recommend you do, go see your GP.
Yeah.
Go talk to your GP. Tell them how you're feeling. They will give you a mental health plan. That mental health plan means that you get 13 free sessions with a psychologist, psychiatrist, anything that can help you pull yourself out of a rut, right? It doesn't mean you're going to get medicated right up, but it just means that you can have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Right? I went through that, and it was a world of change for me.
A friend of mine, I had absolutely no idea, right? I was giving him a bit of stick. I'm like, mate, answer my calls. What could be more important than me, right? And he goes, I'm actually seeing my therapist. I was like, yeah, all right, mate, no worries. I just didn't picture him being that sort of bloke. And he goes, no, I'm serious. I'll speak to you after my session. I was like, oh, okay. Sorry, man. Like, way to make me feel like, this big. And he goes, no, you're right, mate, all good. And he laughed it off. And then he called me later. He goes, oh, man, look, he goes, I needed it a couple of years ago. But I've just been going. He goes, I don't really need it now, but it's just a comfort thing now. And he goes, man, if you haven't gone to see a therapist, he goes, I highly recommend it. And I said, yeah, I did a little bit after Danielle and that, it was obviously a very traumatic experience. And he goes, no, man, I go often. So like I said, guys, you need help, reach out to a therapist. You can even call, Men's Line Australia.
Yeah, Men's Line Australia, which is specifically for men and mental health.
Yep.
But obviously you don't, if you're not a man, you're a woman, you can call Beyond Blue.
Blue.
Yeah. But there's heaps and heaps of telephone connections now. Black Dog Institute's one.
Yeah.
Beyond Blue, Smiling Minds. There's a whole bunch of different places 1300 is the men's helpline. Highly recommend these guys. Phone and online counselling. So they've got heaps and heaps of different avenues that you can go down. So guys, you know, when you talk about mental health, I guess one of the very important things about mental health is that you can't tell when someone is struggling.
No way.
You just can't tell.
No.
Right? Have you seen that? I think we have discussed it on here before, but have you seen that video of two blokes at a football match?
Yes.
And there's one guy who's outrageously loud and screams and cheers and has all this fun. And there's the other guy just sits there all quiet, looks like he's depressed, looks like he's lonely. And then they show that again. The same guy that was quiet was sitting there and there was an empty seat next to him.
Yep.
Right? And then they said, you know, suicide can happen to anyone.
Yep.
Check in on your friend.
Yep.
The guy that was outrageously loud and so outgoing was the one that killed himself because obviously he was hiding that he had problems by acting like a hooligan. You know?
No, it's even like you know, with my best mate, I would just call him, see how he's going, what he's doing, this and that, how your weekend was. You know, on the way to work, pretty much every day, I'll give him a buzz because I know he's up. We've got the same occupation, so I know he's up at like 7 in the morning or 6:30 or whatever. So I'll just, hey man, like yesterday, I'll go, how's your weekend? What'd you get up to? What'd you do? This, that. This morning, how'd you get? You know, what'd you do last night? You know, all good, everything cool. You know, so you know, a lot of you know, and when we spoke about this earlier today, you know, maybe we should start a segment on, you know, just asking each other, you know, how we are, you know, how our day's gone, week, whatever. You know, I think that's good because you were saying that, you know, Are You Okay Day is coming out.
Yeah, it's only a couple of weeks away.
You know, so I think that's sort of like a
perfect timing for this chat.
Yeah, a good segue into it. You know, so it's not that hard, mate. Just to call, you know, group of your mates. You know,
no, it's not.
Ask how they're all going. You know,
male or female, it's not that hard to just pick up the phone and call your friend and go, "Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
How's your day going? What's going on?" And you know what? I copped one of those phone calls today from a friend. Big shout out. You know, he checked in because last week I had told him a few struggles that I'd gone through with my kids and family stuff. And, you know, he rang today to go, "Hey, how you going?
What's going on? Yeah,
you know, you all right?" But like, you know, every day we go through things that can make our life a little bit harder.
Yep.
Like we've talked about it, stress at work, money worries, having a disagreement with a friend or even your partner, going through very bad breakups, getting sick. You know, that takes a lot of it out of her and much more. When times are tough, it can be hard to know when or what to do, where to turn for help, especially for us blokes, especially for blokes. Stigma that society expects of men and not knowing what support is out there can all make it harder to open up and ask for help.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you guys are worried about someone in your family or a friend or a colleague, starting a conversation is, you know, how they're feeling and, you know, what they're going through, helping them step into the right direction of feeling better. But it's hard to start that conversation. So I guess here's a few tips on how to do that, right?
Let's go.
Create a safe space to have a conversation. You don't want to obviously go into a open area and, in front of other people, just question them, what's going on? Is everything all right, right?
Yeah.
You know, pick the right place. Why don't you take them for a walk? I often take a colleague, up the road to the service station, and I'll have a, quick non-work related chat. How you going? How's everything? There's a couple of blokes I work with who have just recently divorced.
Yep.
So I go for a walk with them. How you going? I'll buy them a coffee. We talk about crap on the way to the coffee shop and back, just to get the mind off of work, off of family. But the one thing that's very important is, as the person asking the question, are you okay? I have to be prepared and ready to listen.
Yes.
Because this person may want to divulge everything that's going on in their life. They need that pair of ears to be heard.
Yep.
Right? And then, the most important thing after conversations, because sometimes they can be a lot, you need to then check in with yourself. I need to check in with myself. Go, okay, wow, that was a lot of info to take in on this particular person's life. So you got to check in on yourself and rebalance yourself.
Yeah, because you're listening, and then like some of these things that this person may be saying may trigger some things for you.
Correct.
So you've just got to, obviously, you want to be a good mate. You listen to them, but then you've got to not condition yourself, but like you just just check yourself, because there might be, say, something that someone says, even not in conversation, just the spare of the moment sort of thing, and they say something, and then you'd be like, oh mate, you got no idea.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Well, how do you start a conversation? I guess the most simple and straightforward way would be, asking how they feel on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yep.
How are you feeling today out of 10? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the greatest.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to obviously go up to them and go, hey, mate, how you feeling today out of 1 and 10? Obviously, you got to word it in a way where it's like, how you going, man? And you can sort of base that off, previous conversations, and you'll know how they're feeling.
Another thing is, when I see someone that just is looking off, I'd probably be open to that person. If I was close enough, I'd open up to that person and go, hey, man, I've been noticing that you're just a bit off lately. Is everything okay? You're not yourself.
You just say, you don't seem yourself lately. What's going on?
Yeah, you don't seem yourself.
I've noticed you've been a bit quiet. How you going?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's happening for you? What's going on in your life?
Yeah.
And obviously, this comes later, but it's always good to give them that check-in. A week apart, go, hey, how you going today? I'm just checking in on that discussion we had last week.
Yeah.
The power of communication and check-ins and talks is huge.
Yeah.
There have been many stories I've read about men who were ready to jump off a bridge, but were stopped by an individual to be asked what's going on in their life, how they're going, and they completely turned themselves around because they go, shit. Oh, so I just swore. Put me down another $5. There are people who care.
Yeah.
And you know what? It might not be your immediate family that cares.
It could be someone just walking by.
Is that the new Arsenal top?
It is, yes.
I know, it looks hot. Yeah. I've tried to order one, but I just can't find my size.
Man, have you seen the away kit and the third kit as well?
Oh, I love the third kit.
The third kit's pretty good.
The third kit's killer. Yeah. I mean, the away one's not bad, the black one.
The black, it's like black, red, and green.
Yeah, the African type colours.
It's wild. Yeah. But the baby blue looking one is pretty good too.
So I think just ending on our topic, tips for a positive conversation. I think cut out all distractions.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
Just don't be distracted when you're trying to get out what they're suffering from. Don't force it out.
Yeah.
Don't keep pressuring. Like if I said to you, you're not looking right, and you just don't want to talk about it, I'm not going to sit here hammering going, Stamati, tell me what's wrong. Yeah. Stamati, there's something wrong.
Ask once or twice and that's
right?
it, you know.
If you just go, nah, man, everything's all right.
Yeah. Leave it for another
I'll go,
day.
all right, listen. I know that there's something not right, but if you don't want to talk about it, perfectly fine. You know where I sit, or you've got my number. Give me a call when you're ready to talk.
Yeah.
And it's just you and I.
Yeah, and
Right.
you know, and I've always said this as well, and like, you know, I'll say it now. If anyone wants to sort of reach out, you know, and I'm sure, you know, Valente feels the same way. You know, if you ever want to reach out, whatever, mate, I've always got beers in the fridge. We'll have a chat, come round. There's always coffee in the pantry, you know, so yeah, that's it.
That's it. Going back to the core reason why we started this podcast,
Yeah.
we welcome anyone to reach out to us on our socials.
Yeah.
Two Blokes in the Pod on Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok, YouTube.
That's it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, not so much. You're not going to reach out to us on YouTube.
No.
But on Instagram
Email.
and Facebook, absolutely. Or email twoblokesinthepod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Guys, we are always open for it. But the last thing is when you're trying to be positive in a conversation, don't give advice.
You just hear listen, mate.
Listen and hear the person out.
Yeah.
Do not give advice where you're not a professional.
No.
You
can give like sort of opinions.
Yeah. Opinions or I guess conversations on something similar that may have happened to you and how you got through it, but don't tell this person, hey,
this is what you should do.
Maybe I recommend that you get yourself on this drug, or, you know, go do this, go talk to that person. Nah. Leave that to the professionals.
Yeah.
Great entry back into the mental health space. I think that was very good.
It was very good.
And there will be many, many more episodes coming.
Yeah.
I am inviting a guest on soon who works in the field.
Oh, beautiful.
And they're going to come on and have a very good chat to us about stuff. And they're doing some fantastic work in the mental health space. Did I tell you about another guest that I'm working on?
Oh, who's that?
So I did ask this person earlier in the year to come on, a politician.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names right now, but on the, I guess, conservative side of politics in the Australian Parliament.
Yeah.
Not state, Australian.
Yeah.
So federal. But if this person's calendar does line up with ours, he'll be coming in and releasing some really hot chat about certain things that are happening in Australia right now.
So like coming into the studio or phone calls?
Well, hopefully, because he is SA based.
Oh.
But yeah, hopefully, he's really hot at the moment, and this will probably give him away, but he's really hot on digital ID at the moment. He's completely against it.
Okay.
So, yeah, and he's very big on men's mental health and men's health in general.
Okay.
And the lack of support and funding for it. So watch this space. But I think what we should do is
Blokes Bits.
This is
Blokes Bits.
Blokes Bits. Now I'm just going to get off my chest because I'm staring at you. You're wearing the right top. Gunners 2-0. What a start to the season. Could have been a lot more, but what a start to the season.
So, permission to just not add to my tally here for a second.
No permission granted.
Okay. Wolves, mate, dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, he pretty much put his bloody hands up Jesus' ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that?
What's going on there, mate?
He grabbed his ass. Jesus then turns around and pushes him.
He gets a yellow.
And he gets the yellow.
That's crazy. That should be overturned.
But surely they would have looked at VAR and gone, hang on, he actually did that. He was a dirty player.
Oh,
very dirty player. He stuck on Jesus like a bad smell.
Oh, mate, that really done me in. That done me in, mate. Anyway, but yeah, 2-0. Like I said earlier in the podcast, Port Adelaide got the win, so we stayed second. Arsenal got the win, and my boys got the win on the weekend. So like, I can't really complain.
I didn't care about the result of the showdown.
Yeah,
don't care. And I hope for the love of God, I do hope that Port wins the cup this year, just so I cannot hear you guys complaining.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
But if they don't win, I really do hope that they sign Ken Hinkley for another 10, 15, maybe 20 years.
I think nothing but a grand final victory would save his job this year.
Okay,
even though enough. Like he's turned it around, like there was a couple games there where it was a bit.
They do have an easy run to the finals.
How so,
mate? They've got an easy run to the finals. Come on.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
What do you mean?
Pending that they end up second. Anyway, what do I know? I know nothing about AFL. So moving along,
EPL.
EPL, great cracker start to the weekend.
Tottenham couldn't even get the win against Leicester.
I know.
Big Ange, what's going on, mate?
Did you see Vardy this morning?
It was like this.
Yeah.
He goes, we've got
one. We're one up better than you. What a cracker.
Mate, how old is that guy?
Who, Vardy?
Vardy.
Oh,
Vardy, mate.
He's been around for years. But look, so EPL season started Saturday morning for us anyway, which was Friday night there. Man United beating Fulham 1-0.
Yes.
Ipswich Town, the newcomers to the league,
took it to them, mate.
Gave it to Liverpool. Absolutely gave it, but then Liverpool in the second half turned it up a notch. Yeah. And then you had Salah with a
cracker.
No, sorry. Yeah, was it Salah? Yeah, Salah scored and Jota from a Salah assist.
I've got to say, right?
Yeah.
I was saying like that Saka's goal was cracker, right? I thought it was pretty good, his goal against Wolves. I can't remember who I was talking to about it. They're like, yeah, it was all right. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I thought it was a ripper goal. He goes, yeah, it was all right. I'm like, you're not an Arsenal supporter, whatever. Oh, my brother-in-law, Terry. That's right. He's a Liverpool head. He goes, yeah, it was all right. I go, yeah, right. I go, if bloody any of your bloody players scored that, it would have been the best.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But yeah, back Jamie V, mate. Jamie Vardy's 37.
37 years old. Wow.
Yep. Anyway, go on.
Did you see the news today?
With?
Wolves are interested in buying Ramsdale.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big thing.
How much they want? Or how much did they offer?
I'm trying to bring it up. I did have it here ready to go, but and Arsenal have reached a deal
with
for Joan Garcia.
Yeah. How much?
Joan Garcia from Espanyol. Yeah, because obviously here we go. Wolves submit loan offer with option to buy.
Jeez.
As Gunners eye up Espanyol's. So the Daily Mail is reporting that Aaron Ramsdale is going to the Wolves.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, Wolverhampton Wanderers have submitted a proposal to sign Aaron Ramsdale.
Initial $24 million fee.
For who?
£24 million.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh no, hang on. Sorry, no. He was signed from Sheffield to Arsenal for $24 million.
Yes.
Look
at this. Football transfer rumours. Ramsdale to Wolves. Sterling to Juventus.
Really?
Yeah.
Sterling?
Yeah.
Wow.
It has been at least 15 minutes since Chelsea handed a massive contract to a player they did not need. Here we go. So it's no great surprise that they are considering late move for Ivan Toney.
Who is?
Chelsea. Chelsea just buy everybody. Honestly.
Chelsea lost on the weekend.
They did. They're crapola, mate.
I give their new manager what?
4 weeks?
Yeah, 5 at most.
Yep.
Arsenal reject Nottingham Forest bid for Eddie Nikita. He'd be a loss.
To lose him?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
But this is the thing, right? He's good, but he's not great.
Oh, I agree.
Right?
Completely agree.
So let's put it like this, right? So if Jesus and Trossard or oh my God, I just had a mental blank.
Do you know what I was really happy about on Saturday?
What?
Our starting front line.
Havertz,
Martinelli on the start. I love
Yeah.
I just love Martinelli. I love Martinelli. And like the second half of last season where he wasn't getting a start, I'm like, something's not right here. Something's not going.
I think he had his fitness was.
But he was a gun on the weekend. All right, back to the table. So Brighton with the biggest win of the weekend.
3-0.
3-0 against Everton. Everton are just, I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to cop $5. They are shite. And I'm saying it in the English way because we are talking EPL. So I'm not giving you $5 for that. Newcastle 1-0 against Southampton, the newcomers to the league. So Benny would have been really happy about that result.
I haven't heard from him.
Yeah. Forest and Bournemouth 1-1. 1-1. What happened there?
I'm not sure, mate.
Nottingham was, they were going to win that one. But anyway. West Ham United 1, Aston Villa 2. Brentford 2, Crystal Palace 1.
Yes, something's not right there at Crystal Palace.
And Ivan Toney, he didn't play on the weekend, did he?
Well, no, I just said that Chelsea are interested in him. So if he was to go to Chelsea, he wouldn't have played that game. They would have kept him under wraps. That's what usually happens. If they're going to go to another club, they won't play. So if Chelsea get Ivan Toney, I'll be pretty annoyed because we could have gone for him.
We did go for him, but Brentford wouldn't release him.
Yeah, so what makes him think he's going to go to Chelsea?
I don't know.
Why would you go to Chelsea when you could have gone to Arsenal? Let's be honest.
Chelsea 0, Man City 2. Very disappointed with that result.
Very,
I don't like Man City winning.
No.
And of all people, it had to be Foden and bloody...
old mate.
Oh, no, not Foden. Haaland and Kovacevic.
Yep.
And then, this morning, Leicester
Big Ange.
and Tottenham 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
Interesting, isn't it? I thought Big Ange was going to come out all guns blazing this year.
Yeah, well, no. He does manage Tottenham, so nothing surprising there, mate.
Yeah. Do we give him the rest of the season?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, he's not. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Tottenham are just a shambles, so. But we've got redemption this weekend. If we remember, we're going back a few weeks before, probably about a month or so before the end of last season. We that game that we lost against Aston Villa. That's what cost us the title. That one we should have won that, and we're playing them again. Are we at home or away?
I will tell you in a second. Matches, here we go.
Yeah.
We are playing Aston Villa away.
Yeah, so we have to stick it to Aston Villa and Unai Emery. A good evening.
Look at our run of games the next 5 weeks. We've got Aston Villa away, Brighton at home.
That's hard.
Tottenham away.
That's difficult.
City
that's
away.
Very hard. Away?
Okay. 2 aways in a row.
Yeah.
And then we've got Arsenal. I keep saying Arsenal at home. We've got Leicester at home, followed by Southampton at home and Bournemouth away.
That's all right.
So at least, they're probably confident wins there. But I think if we get strong, if we have strong wins
early
in the next few weeks, we do have a really good looking season ahead of us.
Can you just tell me when we're playing Man City at home?
Man City at home.
Because
that's the first time we're playing them is 2nd of February.
First time we're playing them. Second time we're playing them.
As in at home.
Yeah.
First time we're playing them at home.
Yep. Okay. So 2nd of Feb. Okay. So we still got, that's a while before the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that's all right. That's all right.
And how many times are we playing in this year?
Twice.
No, just the twice.
Yeah. Once away and once at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are we? Christmas time. What's our Christmas looking like? 15th
Jam-packed.
December, we've got Everton.
Good.
22nd of December, we've got Crystal Palace.
It's all right.
27th of December, we've got Ipswich.
Okay.
30th of December, we've got Brentford. And 5th of Jan, we've got Brighton.
So Brighton's probably the difficult one.
Let's just hope that we do well through those next few games.
Yep. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, it's not really much on the F1 front.
No, so we've got Zandvoort this week. So that should be a cracker. I think this is going to be a very important race for a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers, yeah. But yeah, not much to report there. There's nothing that's changed. No rumours, no nothing.
No.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
I can see that there's no cookies this week.
No comment.
Absolutely no comment.
No comment.
3 weeks in a row.
No comment. You got her number? Take it up with her, mate.
Okay, fine. I will.
Good.
But having said cookie talk,
Yeah.
so this Sunday, the gathered markets are back in the Rundle Mall.
Are you going to actually buy me some?
I will buy you.
Oh.
I will buy you a couple to try at our next recording.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Yeah, but you got to tell me, remember?
I will ring you and tell you what they've got on display, and you tell me which ones you want to try.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Done.
Yep.
I will do that.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, thank you very much.
Great session, great episode.
Yep.
Guys, before we do finish, okay? Obviously, you know, we are on the very kind hunt or humble hunt.
We need some sponsors, guys.
Humble hunt for sponsors. You know, it's not quite easy on the pocket hosting such a podcast.
Absolutely not.
And, you know, we really want to take this to the next level for you guys, for you listeners. So if you do know of anyone, or if you would like your business promoted on our platforms, be it on our podcast, our socials, our website, reach out to us, twoblokesinapod@gmail.com. We will send you back a sponsorship package and let you know each different level and how long you can sponsor and what you need to do. We do have a lot of love and appreciation for the people that have sponsored us thus far. So big shout out to Lush Clean Kicks, to Andrew Kiriakou and Excel Property Services, and to obviously Inspirations at Seaton. But we are looking for more sponsors. So please reach out if you know anyone, or send them our way. And we'll do the good talk.
Yes.
You can follow us on all our socials, Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, and TikTok at Two Blokes in the Pod.
That is right.
And you can still buy T-shirts. We've got stacks of T-shirts left.
Come on, boys and girls.
We are looking to put all that money towards a charity. So whether it be Men's Helpline or whether it be Black Dog Institute, we will be putting money together with our swear jar money. How much? What's the tally today?
All right, let's have a quick look.
So 25 each from last week.
Yeah.
And today
so I've got 2. So I've got $10 and you got 15.
I swore 3 times today.
You did.
3 times? I've counted twice.
Just like last week, I counted 3 and you ripped out 5. So
did you add 1 extra?
I did not. And you know what? You can go back to your little video footage here, right? And you could say, I swore again, didn't I? Yes.
3 times?
3 times, yeah.
Okay, I know I dropped the F-bomb tonight.
Dropped the F-bomb.
And I know I dropped the S-bomb.
And then another S-bomb.
Yeah?
I'm honest.
3 times. Okay, all right, whatever.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I was a very good boy tonight.
Okay.
Only 2.
So are we going to make these donations weekly, or are we just going to tally it up at the end of September?
Look, I'll probably just do mine weekly. And it doesn't hurt as much. Could you imagine you got to donate a couple $100 in one hit? If you do $10 here, $20 there, $15 there, it's not that bad.
100 million Powerball this week.
I have bought 4 tickets.
4 tickets. Power hits.
4 games.
Power hits.
Power hit. Yeah.
Yeah, $27 a power hit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think 4 games. I think it was $105.
Yeah, I'm better off doing Lego lotteries.
Oh yeah, that'll pay the mortgage, mate.
Anyone looking for a Bugatti or
You're actually going to sell them?
Ferrari Daytona, hit me up.
Maybe you should bring it in next week and we'll just have it sitting. Oh, you get it? Oh no, you don't get it. You can have it sitting right here.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. So reach out if you want to buy a T-shirt. 2blokesinapod.com is our website, and you can order them on there using our online payment system.
Yep.
Thanks very much, guys.
Peace out.
Talk to you next episode.
Done. See you then.